Okay, so the day before yesterday, that's what I'm assuming it was. They were in my house and took my glasses. And because I was at the grocery store and the idiot showed up and ended up right in the lane right behind me. He wasn't in the store before, but when I'm checking out, all of a sudden there he is with his kid, Alex, the Mexican munchkin, doing his usual fucking in my face bullshit. And I haven't worn my glasses. They were on my desk. So obviously he wanted me to know that he was at my desk. And but that's where they were. But I haven't worn them in the last couple of days because I've been working in the yard because it's time to clean everything up and put everything away and all of that, get ready for winter. So I haven't worn them. So this morning when I went to go find, I searched the whole house. I knew exactly where I had put them. But they, that's the reason why the idiot just keeps emailing me every night. And now he's emailing me during the day. I'm never going to get away. I'm never going to get away because it's just constant. But that explains to me why Alex hasn't had a problem with ICE because I know he's not legal. Before Trump was elected, his wife told me he's not legal, that they were worried about him because he's not legal. So, how did ICE, you know, he's just protected, you know? And so, all of this shit is just meant to wear people down. That's what it's meant to do. It's meant to wear a person down. I'm not the first person they've done this to. I'm not the only person they've done it to. They do everything they can to isolate their targets. That's thus the flyers being hung up all over town, calling me a pedophile when I don't even like kids. I'm so not a pedophile. But with my name and my address and my picture, calling me a pedophile, trying to send people to my house. It's meant to isolate a person. Breaking into my house constantly, meant to be isolatory. You know, that's the shit that they do to their targets. And so this whole situation is just crazy, you know? And they never stop. They never stop. Thomas Schoenberger will say that that whole bullshit about that Carol who was supposedly Joe Rogan's producer, which was all bullshit. And I knew it came from Thomas, especially the last email I got, just going on and on about how great Thomas was. You know, it was just, they do their shit out in the open. They just don't care. And they're child traffickers. They're not focused on me because they're good people. They're focused on me because I'm trying to expose their fucking pedophile operation. That's why they're focused on me. You know? And who is it? It all stems from Michael Aquino, who was my handler when I was a kid. I don't believe he's dead. Personally, I don't believe he's dead. Gabe Hoffman works under Aquino. Thomas Schoenberger works under Aquino. I know that Lucian Greaves was working for them, working for the CIA because his co-founder for Satanic Temple, Shane Bugbee, said he did. But facts don't matter. If they're inconvenient, they just don't matter, you know? And then you have all of Sewertown, but they pay people. The meth head Oompa Loompa next on one side of me, they're paying him. They're paying the Mexican munchkin on the other side of me, paying them. But it doesn't. It stems in where I'm living in Harlan, Iowa. It goes beyond this pedophile operation because there's a meth operation going on here, you know? And for those of you who are confused, just go to my blog, davidshurter.com. All of the shit is in there. And they've done the same shit to Fiona Barnett. I just talked to her a day or two ago. She's completely isolated. You know, they have her completely isolated. The only reason why they don't break into her house is because she lives in the middle of fucking nowhere. When she didn't, they did. But I can't do that because I'm alone. She's married and has kids. I don't. And I'm not. You know? And so, but they isolate their victims. They isolate their targets and break in. Alex broke in. And then it was no accident that he showed up right behind me with his kid at the grocery store. It was not because that's the shit that he does. They parade their shit around. And then asked me, "How are you doing? How are you doing?" So when I turned to him and said, "Living the fucking dream," he did this like weird, outrageous, over the top laugh in the grocery store. You know? And again, I know he's not legal. Fiona told me I should call ICE on him, but I don't play that way. I don't agree with ICE. And I'm not, you know, if the enemy of your enemy is your friend and that enemy is the fucking devil, then he shouldn't be your friend. But, you know, but I've been busting my ass working in my yard, getting shit done. Before that, I washed windows in my house, inside and out. Because what else can I do, you know? This whole bullshit. And then Thomas is sending emails. Well, I hope Gabe Hoffman sues David Shurter. What, Thomas? To sue me for all the shit you sent me on Gabe Thomas, or on Gabe Hoffman, you know? Because it came from you. The emails are fucking easy to decipher. They're easy to actually see. I circled them and showed them on the blog where they're coming from. They're all the same address. The Johnny Dub shit is being sent to me, but you're emailing the Johnny Dub account. You know? It's all bullshit games. And it's all to protect their child trafficking bullshit. And the fact that every person who has come forward ends up going through the same shit and nothing ever gets done about it. Ever. You know? Virginia Giuffre. They knew her book was coming out. That's why she's dead. You know? It's funny how it works. She has a book that's coming out. She's actually but she commits suicide. You know? Really? Really, that's how it worked, huh? That doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't even make any sense. These fucking government pedophiles need to be brought down. Flat the fuck out. And all of their Nazi bullshit isn't scaring people. If the one thing that this last weekend showed, all of those no king protests, is that people are nowhere near as violent and as crazy as they want all of us to think. They want us at each other's throats. And yet, what I saw from a lot of the filming of those is that they were love fests. No violence. Not at all. No one got fucking shot. At all. So this whole thing that everything is out of control and everyone needs these fucking Nazis to take over and control everything is bullshit. Just like everything they say is bullshit. And they're trafficking your fucking kids. And it's irritating that I have to just keep saying the same fucking thing over and over and over. Year after year. Decade after fucking decade. And still, crickets. Crickets, you know? But I know that I know Alex was in my house. He went out of his way to let me fucking know, you know? He knows I don't like him, and yet he shows up right behind me, and it's not like I live in a fucking metropolis, you know? And there were other lanes open that he could have, but he had to be right behind me because he had to engage me. That's the whole fucking thing. They always want to engage me, thinking I'm going to flip out on them or something. Dude, I'm just going to fucking call you out here right now on these because everyone in fucking town seems to watch these things and they'll know exactly what the fuck I'm saying. You're working with the very people who are all completely connected to SECO, and that was helping with the fucking drugs. Setting me up, working with fucking Neil Gross, because it's in town, it's all about protecting this meth operation and the people in power. You know, that's what it is. Yeah. Fuck, it always happens. Fuck, they tried to do it while I was in the house the other day. Shit, that was what, 3 or 4 days ago? It has gotten intense. It has gotten, I don't fucking know what is fueling it. But things have become incredibly intense lately. Shit, I went one, I did I think it was the live before last. Maybe it was one before that. I went to go take a bath at 5 o'clock in the morning. There was a spider. I had to take him out, put him outside. My whole front door, everything was unlocked, and the door handle came off in my hand when I opened the door. The only reason why is because there's no way to get in here without making a racket. They got all that shit undone, but you couldn't get the door open without me fucking hearing it. So they didn't come in. But everything was fucking unlocked. My door handle was in pieces, in 2 pieces. You know? How? I don't know. I'm not a fucking criminal. How the fuck they're doing it? How the fuck am I supposed to know? I'm not a fucking criminal. You know? I do have a security system, but obviously they have something that scrambles my Wi-Fi. You know? I do have dogs, but they're not going to hurt anybody. And because of what they're accusing me of, I'm afraid they're coming in and molesting my dogs. Because they're accusing me of molesting my dogs, which is just fucking outrageously disgusting. But they like to project their shit onto people. So that's why I'm worried that they're in here doing inappropriate things with my, because I know they're not coming in to just watch my television. I don't have that special of a television. I don't have anything special in this house. But it's all meant to just terrorize and drive a person down and drag a person down. That's what they do. That's what they were doing to Issac at the end. That's what they did to Tracy Twyman. That's what they were doing to Max Spears. That's what they did to Lori King. Those are just the people I know. There's a whole huge list of people that they've all done the same shit. That's coming. The cameras with no Wi-Fi are coming, you know? And it's fucking Halloween. Samhain. Samhain. This is a fucking bad time of year anyway. And they know it. They know it. And what's happening is that they just want to know that they're on top of me. That's the reason why they break into my house. You know? And now they fucking stole my glasses. I knew where I put my fucking glasses. And fucking Alex had to go out of his way to get in my face the night before last at Hy-Vee. You know? That explains it. That explains why. How he showed up out of nowhere. You know? And why he did what he did. You know? Because it was Sunday. There was only one grocery store open in town. And he wasn't there, and he didn't look like he was buying anything. So he just wanted to fucking engage me, you know? Shit, buy a safe. That sounds all good, Bluck, but then what? Then they break the safe so I can't get into it and my stuff is locked in there, or they steal the safe, or they figure out how to open it. No one should have to fucking live like this. You know? Nobody should have to live like this. Why the fuck is that motherfucker still here? I know he's not legal. I'm not calling ICE though. I don't play that way. But I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it. And it's all meant to drag me down. The motherfucker who emails me 10 times every night and now is doing it during the day. Thomas and his fucking bullshit with Johnny Dub, who's Lucian Greaves. They just want me to know that they can do whatever the fuck they want with impunity. And they laugh because they know the cops aren't going to help them. They brag the fuck about it. And Neil's not going to help. Neil's not going to help me. He helps them. You know? I don't know. Do unto others. Plug, that's the problem. See, that's just it. They kill it and then I can't get into it and then my shit's locked up in there anyway. And what difference does it make? They've already taken my social security card. They've already taken shit. They just come in and take whatever the fuck they want. They just stole my glasses. And then the fucking Mexican munchkin had to be in my face laughing about it. And I didn't notice until today because I've been working out in the yard. And my glasses are pretty much glorified readers. I don't need glasses, but sometimes I need readers because I do so much research and so much reading all that my eyes and the artwork and stuff like that. I use readers to do detailed shit. But he had to let me know, you know? So now I have to hide everything. This is bullshit. And the sheriff helps them, you know? Neil Gross knows that dude is not legal. I live in a town of 4,000 people. This is a tiny town, you know? This is a tiny town. Don't tell me that they don't know. But my sheriff's deputies are too busy hanging those flyers up because they got, hey, Susan, they got videotaped hanging those flyers, calling me a pedophile, hoping that someone would show up at my house and shoot me all over town. They got filmed. 3 of them, you know? Oh, if I catch them. I have stuff that's getting set up in the house. If I catch them, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm not going to tell my police or anything. I'm just going to fucking post it everywhere. I'm going to post it up everywhere. You know? I don't know how to become dangerous, Bluck. I'm so pacifist. And I'm old. You know? They say that, they try and tell everybody I'm angry all the time. Who has the fucking energy to be angry all the time? You know? I have shit I have to do. I had so much work to do in my yard these last couple days. And again, it started with me washing windows. Washing windows was not an easy feat because then it's fucking cleaning everything up because you have to move everything away from the windows and all that. And when you're angry, all you do is you just stew and you're angry all the time. You don't get anything done. I don't have time for that. You know? Is the shit irritating? You're damn right it's irritating. But what can I do? You know? Self-defense, they don't come, you know, the whole thing about it is that they tried to come in. I really wonder what would have happened had they come in while I was here, you know? But because that's, again, it's getting bizarre. I don't think I have time enough to go learn self defense because things are getting fucking scary. I mean, I hate to admit it, but with them breaking into my house and shit, what happens when they decide that they just want to take me out? You know, it's hard to get into my house, but that's because I have to fucking barricade shit. At least to the point where if someone comes in, I can hear it. You know, it's spiritual. I do have spiritual self defense. I pray all the time. I journey. You know, I pray. I journey. It's just, and I do seem like I'm down right now. I kind of feel that. I just want you to know that it's not just them. I have been doing major fucking manual labor for the last 3 days on my house, going up and down ladders and cleaning those windows. That's what started the whole thing. And then I got outside and because my backyard goes to shit at the end of every summer because I can't take the heat. I can't take that sun. I can't take the heat. I don't like to be outside. So I had morning glories that had just sprouted up everywhere. I had a tree in my raised garden that it took me an hour and a half to try and dig it out. And at the end, I just had to stomp on it with the shovel because I couldn't even get the roots out. It was just, it was intense. You know, I'm not going to go break into anyone's houses. I'm not going to go steal my shit back. I'm not a criminal. I'm not going to lower myself because they might not do anything to them. But if Neil Gross can fucking show up at my house, arrest me, and put me in jail because I'd never get out, I would be another Jeffrey Epstein. You know, they would say that I committed suicide when I didn't commit suicide. If they could get a hold of me like that, especially now, being saw when. So I'm at 22 minutes. I'm going to pray and then I'll do the whole anybody who wants to contribute. I don't have a damn dime. I had $4 in my account and now I found out that Google took it because I have to pay for extra storage because they fill out my email. So I had to do that. And then something else. Oh, my Eero for the thing because I have to have protection on. I have to pay for security on everything. If I could win the lottery, I would just get security so my fucking house could be monitored 24/7. You know? But then if they had to call the cops, who would they call? You know? But let me pray. Heaven, we come to you. I come to you. This house was a blessing. I was about to lose my faith when you worked a miracle and provided me with this house. And so I'm always trying to keep it up because I don't want heaven to think that I disrespect the blessings that were given to me. Even though I do have to say this tax bill is stressing me out. I'm setting up a GoFundMe, but when I ask, you just tell me to have faith. And so that's what I can do. I'm really grateful this last weekend that there were no acts of violence with all of those protests. I was incredibly pleasantly surprised. And I was very happy that there was no. When given the chance, we all come together quite wonderfully, I think. You know, we are a remarkable species, always full of surprises. And we owe that to you and to your son, Jesus Christ, our brother who taught us, came down and fulfilled the word. And on a personal note, just this whole child trafficking thing needs to be exposed. And I am weary of being on the front lines of this continuously and constantly. And I am isolated and I do feel alone. That's why I busy myself digging in dirt. It's been kind of fun, actually. But give us grace, fill us with grace, and keep us focused on purpose. Fill me with grace, keep me on focus. And I say these things lovingly and gratefully in your Son, our brother's name, Jesus Christ. Amen. So that was kind of more of a prayer for me. I'm sorry, but I've had I when you have no money, you don't go out. I only think I have 40 miles left to my tank. So anybody who wants to donate, PayPal and Venmo is just at Shurter. Um, I have the Buy Me a Coffee link. The problem with Buy Me a Coffee is that you only get paid once a week, and sometimes I miss the cutoff. And so, you know, not that it's everyone's broke and everyone's struggling. Out here in Iowa, everyone knows soybean sales are down 51%. China's not buying soybeans from America anymore. And it's really scary out here. People are very scared. I'm not the only person who's terrified of the future. You know, people are on the verge of losing everything. And it's intense to watch. And people are silent, but then they're stressing out and just chaos. But with that said, I'm going to get off here. I'm tired. Go read the links. That Joe Rogan thing was bullshit. And then I was told by Survivor that Joe Rogan is CIA anyway, so it was all for the best. But they're going to run with that Liz Crokin. And Thomas Schoenberger is heavily involved, so is Lucian Greaves. I believe Lucian Greaves is Johnny Dub. You know, all of the emails come from them, other than the one who has the proton mail, and he just is a freak. He just keeps sending me stuff. He's trying to convince me to commit suicide. That's, that's the emails that I got last night, trying to convince me to commit suicide. I'm never going to fucking commit suicide. You know? I don't care if I become homeless and I freeze to death out in the cold. That's not committing suicide. You know? But, oh my God, heaven would be so pissed off at me. I would not want to put up with it. And some people may have lost their fear of God. I, however, have not. Have not. And it's what keeps me on the straight and narrow. Because heaven is loving, yes. But when heaven gets angry, it's not like wrath is a thing of the past. Heaven can smite. Very good at smite. And bait. So, with that said, I'll see you guys later. Fuck if I'm still here. Fuck, one of these times they could be breaking into my house just to take me out. Who knows? Things are getting bizarre. Stole my glasses, you know? And it's just meant to fucking piss me off. You know? And then he had to dance around like he always does in my face. It is not my fault your dick is small. I had nothing to do with your tiny penis. You know? Don't take the shit out on me. It's not my fault you have a small dick. You're an itty bitty guy. That's what happens.